everybody, I'm KC and welcome to the latest first impressions video. But before we get to the subject at hand, let me give you a quick update on the update I posted last week. First of all, for my American viewers, happy Thanksgiving, and you may have remembered that in that video I promised you a special top 12 list this Thanksgiving. As you may have noticed, this is not a top 12 list. That's because the way I'm editing it, it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Now that's not it. It's most of it's done, but the video editing part, it's taking a while to render things and, a lot of complicated stuff. It's taking a while, but I promise it'll likely be out by the end of the month. So don't worry, that's coming, but I felt like I did owe you guys something, and the day after I posted that update video, something very special and definitely within my interests was posted and went stupidly viral. So, these are my very unscripted initial thoughts on Detective Pikachu, the movie. Yes, in case you've been living under a rock the past year and a half, I think. This is a feature film, live-action CGI hybrid, which we all love those, based on a lesser-known Pokemon game, Detective Pikachu, which is basically a mystery puzzle-solving game around a kid who runs into a talking Pikachu who happens to be a detective because Pokemon. Now, of course, if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I celebrated the 20th anniversary in a big way. I haven't done much videos lately, except for one, which you can't see because ShowPro blocked it, and I'm terrified of fighting that, so thanks. But when this came out, I was so afraid, and I watched it, and I surprisingly didn't hate it. Honestly, there was some good news with this movie, like with the exception of one person. They weren't hiring super big talent in the actor roles. The creative team in terms of writing seemed fairly solid. And there's one thing about that, but we'll go to that towards the end. But I'm gonna try to make this quick. Yeah, I didn't hate it. In fact, I'm actually kind of excited now. I've been so hesitant to be excited about this, but you know what? It looks okay. It looks like fun. Like, Detective Pikachu was already a concept that was right up my alley, and the one thing that was so great about this movie coming out is that they were going to localize the 3DS game, which I think they weren't planning to do. It had been out for a year, but before it came out here in the States. But it did, and while I haven't had a chance to play it yet, it looks amazing, and I really, really want to, because you mix up Pokemon and murder mystery, that is all me. And it's kind of weird that after 20 years, this is the concept that finally gets Hollywood to make a live-action Pokemon movie, but here we are. Really, the thing that caught my eye instantly was how well Pokemon elements were brought into a human-looking world. And by that I mean they could have just filmed this in New York City, stuck some Pokemon in there, and called it a day. But there's actually tons of, restaurants and shops and, merchandise and parades and all sorts of things centered around Pokemon, just like you see in the games or the anime. This world, its economy, its business practices, its scientific advancements, almost all of them center around Pokemon. And it seems like that's going to be something that's going to carry over. Heck, the kid, I think detective in training or something, played by Justice Smith, who seems like he's gonna be a fun lead, was originally going to compete in the Sinnoh League. That looks like it's going to be a plot point. He was going to be a Pokemon trainer, but then something happened. Whether that was connected or not to his missing father, we don't know, although that's very likely. But that's just cool. I love stuff like that. I love running around on a Pokemon journey and being a trainer as much as the next guy, but I also like seeing different aspects of the Pokemon world. What different people do with these creatures and with these bonds. It's why I liked when Pokemon contests became a thing and how the anime approached that. It was so cool. And here, it seems like it's done pretty naturally. You see Pokemon helping the police. Jigglypuff might be running a karaoke bar, but we'll get to that in a second. And even from a production standpoint, it looks like a nice mix of fun, the lighthearted, fantasy adventure you get from Pokemon and the gritty detective stuff. And that's a really hard combination to pull off, and time will tell if the movie as a whole doesn't suffer from some kind of tonal dissonance. But at the moment, it looks like a nice balance. Like, there are points where I was laughing, there are points where I got kind of excited, that, you know, there are points that are suspenseful, and it looks like it's a good mix. But enough about that. You don't care about that. You care about how I think the Pokemon look, because this has been the most divisive of all. Okay, here's the thing. One of the things that was so hesitating about a live action Pokemon movie is how Pokemon would translate to live action, because Pokemon are very stylized, fantasy-based creatures. But a lot of them are also supposed to be really cute and toyetic and able to run around on cute, fun adventures. And sometimes that kind of mix can be difficult to translate into a completely different medium. And I will admit, over the last week or so, and even most of them, like, within the same day I saw the first trailer, I'm kind of getting used to it. I'm kind of on board with it. Like, I've seen people break down the designs and what Pokemon show up, and yeah, for the most part, they actually look probably as good as we're ever going to get with real-life Pokemon. The one I've gotten to used to the most was Pikachu himself, played by Ryan Reynolds, because why not? But okay, quick thing on Ryan Reynolds. That's actually a way better casting choice than I thought, because I went back and listened to a couple of the cutscenes for the English dub of the video game, and he sounds pretty close to the guy. He sounds pretty close to the video game counterpart. So you know what? Points for accurate casting. That's just, Detective Pikachu is supposed to sound kind of snarky and gritty, and I do not care that he isn't Danny DeVito. I never got the Danny DeVito thing anyway, but you know what, whatever. But yeah, I kind of like this thing's attitude. That first Pikachu kind of creeped me out. Like, it had like this weird, creepy living plush toy, like Teddy Ruxpin thing going on. Was it just me? I think it was like the mouth and the eyes, I don't know. But I've gotten a lot more used to it, and he looks pretty solid. As time has gone on, I could see getting used to him being in a whole movie, because he was the one I was the most nervous about, but you know what? It looks okay. The others, first off, I appreciate right away that this world isn't just confined to the Kanto region and the original 150 Pokemon. Like I said, the kid, Justice Smith, was going to compete in the Sinnoh League. There are Pokemon all over the place, from Kanto, Unova, I think there's a couple of Kalos ones in there. Yeah, Greninja's in there. And there's probably going to be way more as the movie goes on. You know, they already crammed like a bunch of different Pokemon in just these 2.5 minutes, in just this 2.5 minute preview. Game Explain actually did a really good video pointing out every single Pokemon they could find and every single reference to a Pokemon they could find, including a lot of the shops and businesses that advertise them and even the posters. So definitely check that out, because there might be, if I remember right, there's over 30 Pokemon, which is crazy. But let's do a quick rundown of the ones that I could see well enough. Like, I know there's like Flabébé and Rufflet and Braviary in the back, but they're really hard to see, so it's really hard to judge them. First off, Charizard. I kind of like Charizard. I like that they went with scales, you know? At first it looks weird, but again, think about what Charizard is, and then translate that into the real world, and it looks pretty solid. And Charizard actually looks like he's in the middle of a Pokemon battle. You know, I've heard some people complain that, this isn't their genre of Pokemon, that they just want to see that it's weird that there doesn't seem to be any battles. In this, it looks like there might be. I could be wrong, but that looked like a Pokemon battle arena to me. Greninja looks okay. Dodrio, Charmander, they look okay. There was actually one I really liked. There was some Emolga on the roof, and they look really cute. I really love those. Psyduck will haunt my nightmares. Sorry. Of all the Pokemon to give the sidekick, whoever she is, to give as a partner, I know Psyduck's popular. I like Psyduck. Everyone likes Psyduck, but I don't know. Psyduck didn't translate very well. I think they should have gone with like another generation starter or something. Okay, maybe I'll get used to it, but it's just not working for me. Mr. Mime, on the other hand, is the stuff of nightmares, but that's because he's supposed to be. Mr. Mime has always been creepy, and this is just continuing the tradition. Jigglypuff. Okay, quick thing on Jigglypuff. I didn't like it at first. and I know a lot of other people don't, but I was looking at it, and I realized someone put a comparison of anime Jigglypuff to the game's Jigglypuff, and it actually looks pretty close. Like, it looks fine. Having it be all fluffy, that makes sense to me. I think it would look a lot weirder without fur. When I was looking at it, I think I found out the problem. The problem is that it's in this really yellow, saturated light, and Jigglypuff's supposed to be like this really nice pale pink. So I think if you took that Jigglypuff and put it out into the daylight and not in the middle of this, some kind of bar or karaoke thing or something, which it's a funny little joke. Like, you could see someone sleeping right next to Jigglypuff and it's all puffed up. Like, that's cute. But if you put it in natural lighting, it would probably look a lot better and less nightmare-inducing. But the most important one, the most important Pokemon is right along a stream of water, the Morlull. You know, from Sun and Moon, from Alola. You know, the little mushroom Pokemon? Like, and then they're all flying around. They look like they jumped right out of the game. Oh yeah, and there's a Bulbasaur there. They're okay, I guess. I'm just kidding. Oh my god, they're so cute! I love the Bulbasaur so much. It's weird their eyes aren't red, but that probably would have looked creepy. But they look so good and they're strolling along and I love it! So yeah, I don't know how long this has gone on. I'm trying to make this quick. I might have rambled on with the Pokemon, but you know what? That's what everybody's talking about. So yeah, at the end of the day, after taking like a week, actually, to stew and look at this closer, see everybody's reactions, both the good and the bad, and realize that I am not dreading this now. Like, I'm actually kind of excited for it. Yeah, at the moment, my expectations are, this could be fun. And that's way better than my expectations were before, which was, oh jeez. Oh god, they're gonna screw up so many of my childhood favorites and my adulthood favorites, and oh my god, this is gonna be awful. But it doesn't look, you know what? It doesn't look awful. And that's another thing. Let me clarify something, and I think this is true of a lot of critics. Expecting and desiring are not the same thing. I wasn't expecting this to look very good, but as I'm watching the trailer, and as I'm seeing all these GIFs and people doing fan art, I realized that this could actually be okay. And I'm very, very happy about that, because you know what? At the end of the day, if this is good, it just creates more Pokemon fans. Just like probably the Detective Pikachu game did. Just like Pokemon Go does. Just like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is right now. And if you ask me, more fans of a thing I love can only be a good thing. But before I go, I want to make a correction here, just because I haven't seen anybody else doing it. I'm sure someone has, but, you know, just because it's so tied to my interest. Some people were very quick to tell me that Alex Hirsch, aka the creator of Gravity Falls, my all-time favorite show, was involved in the writing in this. Now, IMDb backs this up too. They claim he was involved in the movie too, but if you go to Hirsch's Twitter, not long after the trailer dropped, he clarifies that he was approached to help, was involved in very light scripting, I believe is what he said. I'll have the tweet posted on the screen right now so you can read it for yourself. But whatever involvement he did have didn't make it into the final product. Okay, so if you see anybody claiming that Alex Hirsch is involved in Detective Pikachu the movie, please correct them, because it is not true. One of the co-writers, however, is still Nicole Perlman, which was announced back when Alex Hirsch was rumored to be involved in final scripting. And Nicole Perlman is involved in many original drafts of some of the Marvel movies, like the most famous being Guardians of the Galaxy, I think Thor, and she might have some involvement in the upcoming Captain Marvel movie, but all of the credits I could find say original draft, and I don't know if that means anything she wrote down made it into the final product. But regardless, what I see here, I really like. And all I can say is, whoever did this clearly did it with love. You know, it doesn't seem like a corporate mandate movie. It looks good. It looks like fun. Please, if anyone who's involved with this movie is watching by some kind of cosmic circumstance, don't screw it up. For those of us who have been here with Pokemon for almost 20 years, please don't screw it up. But yeah, I think that's enough for me. Let me know what you think of Detective Pikachu, what Pokemon you like the most, what Pokemon you like the least out of the ones they were seeing in the trailer, and what kind of Pokemon you want to see in Detective Pikachu itself. You know, what kind you want to see Detective Pikachu and the kid interrogating like they did with Mr. Mime. You know, there's a lot of possibilities here. We don't know what to expect from this. But yeah, any thoughts at all on this? Let me know in the comments comments below. And one last thing, I am still looking for feedback on a potential Q&A, so if that is something, if you guys would like to participate in a Q&A video for the channel, please let me know in the comments here or in the update video. Just let me know, because I really want some more responses from that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I meant for this to be quick. I don't think it ended up being that, but you know, whatever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.